raise your right hand for us. Thank you. Okay. You solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending for this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God. May you please take a seat on the witness stand. Make it to you when you come right. Please state and spell your name for the record.
Wally Sajimi, W-A-L-L-Y-S-A-J-I-M-I.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Good afternoon, Mrs. Day.
Hello.
What do you, sir, what do you do for a living?
I run a technology software agency where we build website software for clients, musicians, creatives, brands, direct-to-consumer brands, yeah.
And have you done work in that capacity for Rocky?
Yes.
Okay. Have you also, and by the way, do you work for Rocky?
No, I have my own business.
Okay. So you do consulting work?
Yes, consulting.
Did an individual that you know as Relli also ask you to do work for him?
Yes.
Okay. And same capacity as a consultant as well?
Correct.
All right. Now, do you have any, just let's get this out of the way. Do you have any personal knowledge of the facts of this case one way or another?
No.
Okay. After Rocky's arrest in this case, and fair to say you're friends with Rocky, right?
Yes.
Okay. After Rocky's arrest in this case, did Relli ask you to do anything for him?
Yes, he did.
What did he ask you to do?
A number of things, but he really wanted to boost his social media presence with certain articles from his kids.
Okay. In particular, do you remember any?
It was a long list, but they were high publications.
TMZ.
Rolling Stone, High Society, Complex, so on and so on.
So, Mr. Ephron, contacted you and asked you to promote these articles for his social media presence.
Yes, for his further, to boost his social media as well, yeah.
And that was articles about this case.
Correct.
Okay. When did, just refer to as Relli for the purpose of this conversation, when did Relli, that's how you know him, by the way, right?
Correct.
When did Relli last call you?
Just last week on my birthday when I was in Paris, Thursday.
Thursday, the January 30th?
Yeah, around 9 p.m. in Paris, so if I do the math, it's probably 12 noon here.
Okay. And have you been following this case?
Yeah, I've been watching.
Okay. And on that day, on that Thursday, did you see anything particular about this case on Thursday when you watched?
Yeah, just my name being brought up against lies, fabrication, just not the truth. So,
Well, what in particular did you hear, and who did you hear it from?
Relli specifically.
What did he say?
Recordings were fake. Recordings were not him, not I. And I'm a pretty private person, so when people lie on my name, it kind of gets me upset. So yeah.
Okay. Now, did Relli send you any articles about this case in the
Yes.
last 6 months?
Yes.
Okay. And on October 17th of 2024, did he send you an article about Judge Arnold?
Yes.
On December 24th, 2024, did he send you a Daily Mail article entitled Rihanna Fears Heartbreaking Consequence of ASAP Rocky's Trial with a
Yeah, I
Smiley
understand
Face?
the relevance of these questions about specific.
We asked that. December 27, 2024, did Relli send you an article from the Daily Mail entitled Rihanna Fears Heartbreaking Consequences of ASAP Rocky's Trial with a smiley face next to it?
Yes.
To be here today, so where are you coming from?
Paris, France.
Okay. And what were you doing in Paris, France?
Grabbing meetings, doing business deals, trying to invest in this new tech startup.
Okay. So you're there for work?
Yes.
You don't live there?
No.
Okay. You live where?
New Jersey.
When did you get here in Los Angeles, sir?
Last night late.
Okay. And why did you come here?
To really clear my name, tell the truth. Again, I just hated seeing my name tied to lies and untruthful words.
And did it concern you as far as your professional reputation that this guy was accusing you of doctoring and making up recordings?
Yes.
Would you ever do that?
No, never. I'm not there yet with like the technology, I would say. So yeah.
But even if you were there, would you
Yeah,
do that?
no, I would never. It's not honest, right? Yeah.
Did you make recordings of conversations with Relli?
Yes.
How many recordings did you make?
Two. About in 2022, I believe the dates were, I forget the April date, but mid-April and then August 15th-ish. Yeah.
Now you said that's based on your recollection, right?
Yeah.
I think the metadata may actually say May, but around April, May
Yeah,
of 2022?
Yep.
Okay. And then August of 2022, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And those are the two conversations you recorded?
Yes.
Okay. Did you give those recordings to Rocky?
Yes.
Okay. And first of all, why did you give them to Rocky?
I think it was just conversations he needed to hear.
And why do you think he needed to hear them?
Because they're about him, and a lot of it seemed just suspicious, talking about monetary things.
And when did you send them to Rocky?
As soon as I finished the conversation.
Now, when you sent those recordings, did one of the two recordings, did you have to split one of them into two files because of the size?
Yeah, you can't really send certain data, or if the file size is too big, you gotta cut it down to send it. So
Sir, how did you get here today?
I took a plane, commercial plane.
Last night
Yes,
from Paris?
yes,
And are you going back later today?
yeah, a few hours.
Okay. So that's a one-day turnaround?
Yeah, after,
Just to be here?
yeah.
Okay. Who paid for the cost of your ticket?
Damien Branderson,
Amy Branson, that's Rocky's entertainment attorney?
entertainment lawyer, yeah.
And that means Rocky probably paid for the cost of your ticket, correct?
Possibly.
Yeah. And did you meet us, myself, Mr. Siegel, Mr. Kaplan, any of the people in the defense statements, zoning, us for the first time ever this morning?
Prior to this, no.
No. When was
This
the
morning,
first time?
yes.
This
This
morning
morning, yes.
was the first time you ever met any of us?
Correct.
Okay. Did we ever speak before this morning?
No.
Okay. This morning, did we play recordings?
Correct. Yes.
And what were those recordings?
There were the recordings that I took.
And by the way, let's step back for a second. You mentioned Damien Branson, Rocky's entertainment attorney. What was the first time you ever heard from him?
Just recently while I was watching the tapes.
Was it when this individual Relli was testifying about you doctoring tapes?
Correct. He wasn't the only one contacting me about just a lot of things.
Right,
But
but
yeah.
non-responsive.
Sustained, sustained.
Okay. Was when he called you, Ron? Sure.
You want some water? Oh, you have one.
Sorry.
Do you have enough in there?
I have one.
You're okay? Sure?
I think there's something that's kind of tricky my allergies.
Yep.
Air vents.
The air vents, I think, is wrong with the allergies. I just want to give her a second to,
Yeah.
if I do the pat down.
You want to, is it okay? Do you want to go in the back and
Is it okay?
get rid of the cough?
We've got
Oh, we have cough drops too. We have to give cough.
Would you like a cough drop from both the prosecution and the defense?
Ours are better.
I have a cough drop. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Got water as well. I took a lot of medication as well.
No, you have nothing to be sorry about.
I'd like to sit off for a second, please.
What's that?
Could I sit off for a second?
Of course.
That way, this way.
Oh, you want to step out?
Yes, please.
Alex? Oh, Alex, okay. Go to the door there, Alex. You'll be out. go ahead and cut the camera while we're
It's on.
waiting.
It's off.
I have my water also. Okay, George.
I was
concerned. I know. Mr. Sajimi, so you said, Mr. Granderson, Damien, practiced payment lawyer for the first time on Thursday,
Correct.
after what you saw on TV occurred in this case.
Correct. The past few days,
You
yeah.
were accused of making a false statement.
Correct.
Before that, have you heard of anyone from Rocky's defense team?
No.
Okay. And no one ever told you he intended on calling you, correct?
No.
But then you saw on television, you were accused of doctoring up tapes, correct?
Correct. I didn't want to come here.
And I can object on any leading question, but I'll just ask it. It would not be-
Yeah, that's right, it's leading, same.
A little less, I'll try not to be, but an effort would be appreciated.
So, the recordings, I think I asked this, I'm not sure, before we broke. Did we play for you the recordings this morning? The two recordings?
Correct.
Yes, okay. And what were those two recordings?
Conversations of Relli and I.
Okay. The May 2022
Yes,
and August
and
2022? And, by the way, where were you when you made those recordings?
In New Jersey, my apartment.
Okay, and did Relli say where he was?
In New York.
And I'm going to show you the three recordings, to show you the screen, the three. By the way, when I said I'm going to show you the three recordings, did you videotape the recordings?
Yes.
Okay. So you audio recorded the recordings, but you videotaped.
Yeah, I believe video is just better to capitalize on, or just to capture everything.
Okay.
Your video with audio, it's hard to falsify, I guess.
Okay. So we'll show you. We'll show.
Just the next exhibit,
Yes, Your Honor.
Q's and Queen. Is there a transcript?
Three recordings, but you
Two
only need
recordings.
two incidents, but you mentioned three, but one of them is a combination,
It's a split.
a split. I just want to make sure it's clear. We're only talking about two
Two
recordings.
recordings, May and August.
Yes.
2022.
Is there a transcript of the first?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just identifying them first. I'm not playing them. I just want to make sure we identify them. Okay. So take a look at that one. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And what do you recognize that to be?
It's my recording of my conversation with Relli and I.
The first one from May of 2022?
Correct.
Okay. That is, we have it marked as exhibit
Q.
Q. All right. I'm going to show you another one, another video screenshot.
Yes, same exact thing. Conversation with him and I.
And that is that the one from August?
Correct.
And by the way, what makes you know that that's the one that you had with Relli? We're looking at it.
How I save people's numbers, I usually put your entire government name and your nickname as well, so I can remember.
And that's what you have on that screen there?
Correct.
Okay. That would be, what is that? R, okay. That's defense R, Your
When,
Honor.
all right, if you're marking that now, are you going to play Q?
Snippets of it, yes.
All right. The part that you're going to play of Q, the transcript of that should be R.
Okay.
The August call
This,
should be S and Sam.
okay. The first August call, because again, there's one August call that was sent to Rocky in two files. So first one will be S and Sam, the one he just identified. And the transcript portion of that would be,
T is in Tom.
okay. And then the third one, which is again the same call from August 2022, is that the screenshot of that, sir?
Yes.
And again, same thing?
Correct. Same thing. I videoed it between Relli and I.
And whose name is on the screenshot?
Terell Ephron.
And that's that's the same call as the call before. It's part of the August 2022 call, but that's a second
Correct.
file.
Yeah.
The
Same
file.
file.
So that would be
That's you.
you, Your Honor. And and the transcript
All
for
right, that's the August 22nd call?
second court.
Second half. That's U as in Union? The transcript, V as in Victor? Yeah.
Okay. Now, you recognize the records on the screen. I'm going to play snippet. Before I play the snippet for the jury, I want him, Mr. Sajimi, to identify the voices. Okay?
Sure.
That's the right way to do it. So listen to the recordings of voices and tell us if you recognize the voices. First, second, and third.
Yes, myself and brother.
That's the first one. This is the second one. Go ahead.
Yes, that's the second one. Same thing. Yes, same thing. Identifying myself and Terell Ephron on the conversation.
Okay. You played all three? So you've identified all three of those tapes that we've identified as,
It is the tapes Q, S, and U.
offense Q, S, and U. You've identified all three as recorded conversations that you made from May of 2022 and August of 2022 of you and Terell Ephron.
Yes.
Okay. And you said you watched this proceeding. Are those the ones you said were fake?
Yes.
Were they fake?
No, they're real.
Can you prove them in any way?
No.
Are those recordings a true and accurate recording of your conversation with Relli those 2 days?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone ask you to make these recordings, by the way?
No, I did it myself.
Why did you do it?
Really to protect myself and just document our conversations because he kept calling me numerous times, so I kind of felt unsafe or I just wanted to protect myself.
And when he kept calling you numerous times, why did you feel the need to record these conversations? Was he giving you an impression?
Well, it was just weird, to be honest. I just felt uncomfortable.
But you were not involved in this incident, correct?
No, I was just, I was not involved at all. I just wanted to really just mediate the situation, honestly.
Because you were friends with both of them.
Correct.
And you didn't take a side, did you?
No.
It is leading, it is, okay.
Okay. Were you friends with both of them?
Yes.
Did you take a side?
No.
All right, now I'm going to play you a few snippets here from the recordings. And again, these are questions that were asked.
Which, are you going to play Q, S, or U first?
Yes. I'm going to play Q, S, or U first. I'm going to play a snippet of S first, Your Honor. And again, these are short snippets. They're directly related to the question I asked Mr. Ephron.
All right, let's, Alex, can you distribute the transcript, which is T as in Tom?
Yes, sir. You have two, Your Honor, by chance, so the same?
I
Oh, I'm sorry.
have a, yeah, I think I have it. you have an extra for, Mrs. Sajimi? Sure, yeah.
Yes, okay. So we're gonna play a snippet from that defense exhibit
This is S.
S. And again, by the way, before we play that, who called whom in these two calls?
He called me,
And?
and then I would call him back.
And when you recorded these calls, were you calling him back?
Correct.
Go ahead.
This is the later call, correct?
Yo, what's good, nigga? What's going on? Shit, man, where you at? Crib. What you want? Shit, man. I just hopped on the computer and shit. I was gonna submit them links and shit. You know which links you want to do, or you want me to just pick them shits? Yeah, it's shit, son. It's probably the one from Rolling Stone, all those other publications. Just pick the top ones, probably, right? Like TMZ, Rolling Stone shit. Mm-hmm. And then when I get it, I'm gonna throw you sign. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna just try to get that shit through, you feel me?
Okay. That was yourself and Mr. Ephron?
Yes.
Okay. Who's the one that was saying Rolling Stone and that?
Terell was.
And you respond saying, just pick the top one, something to that effect?
Yes.
And then, after asking you to promote these articles on social media regarding this case, did he say he was going to throw you something?
Yes.
What did he say?
When I get it, I'm going to throw you something.
When I get it, I'm going to throw you something?
Yes.
Where did you take that from me?
I'm not sure. Maybe whenever he gets some type of money.
I'm gonna call for
Sustain.
speculation, motion striking.
Speculation, sustain,
I guess we're going to move on now to the second. From which reporting is
It's from S also.
this? Exhibit S also.
This one you just related to.
You're on the same exhibit, same transcript. Is there a page we should direct this on?
Page 10.
Page 10? Page 10. You can flip to page 10.
Does the jury have this?
Yes, you're on page 10, page 10. All right. Listen to this, please, and go ahead.
Like, who gets cool after somebody firing on you 5 times, bro?
Okay. That, Mr. Ephron saying, who gets schooled after someone firing on you 5 times?
Yes.
I think a message was who gives school, not who gets school.
Okay. Who gives school? Gives school?
That's what the
Whatever,
transcript says.
whatever it says. The part I was really focused on was the someone firing on you 5 times. That he said that?
Yes.
You? Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is a different exhibit.
Exhibit Q.
Different exhibit.
It's a transcript R. And this is still August 27th.
No, this is, I think, May 22nd.
You just played August, that was August.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So now we're in May.
Now we're on to this one.
Just want to be passed out, is that correct?
Please.
So what was already played was August 22nd. This is
Right.
now May 22nd.
Right.
And by meaning August 2022 rather than 22nd.
Yeah, August 2020.
2022. On May 2022.
All right.
Everybody
Okay.
everybody have one? Transcript?
Good.
Can I have one?
Do we have one from Mr. Sajimi?
What page? Page 16, please, on the transcripts. Okay, go ahead. Play that.
But background of lawyer first court extortion, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? You ask for background of lawyer first court extortion, you feel me? You're gonna do everything accordingly. Everything accordingly, or it's gonna catch up with you.
Whose voice was that, sir?
Terell Ephron.
Did you make up those words?
No.
You spoofed his voice somehow? with
No.
those words? The next one is from the same recording,
Same recording, same transcript, page 13.
same recording, same transcript, page 13.
Just to be clear, this would be before, so you're going backwards in the conversation, is that correct?
No, it's the same one we just heard. This is the May 2022.
My question is, in terms of timing, is what you just played before or after in terms of timing?
Yeah, it's earlier in the
It's
conversation.
early,
So
sorry.
I just want to make sure that we're making clear when these are being played.
I'm suing the shit out of him. That was my game. And regardless, don't give a fuck about no police, nigga.
Whose voice was that saying, suing the shit out of him? That was my game regardless. I don't think that's about the police.
Terell Ephron.
You didn't make up that voice.
No. No.
The computer generate that voice.
No.
Okay, next is from the August 2022 recording, which is exhibit again.
So that's exhibit U, it's the second portion of that recording, with the transcript page.
We just asked, when you're going to be playing now, chronologically, is this occurring after the time originally when you played?
Right, last was May, this is August, so we'll be after.
No, but you played part of the August call. I'm just trying to understand, is this, you played the August call before, is this part after, before?
It's after.
After the part you already played?
Right. Let's check at this.
Let's get the,
Yes.
you got the transcripts out?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. V is in, the transcript is V is in Victor. The recording is U as in union.
Okay, is there a page direct?
Page 5.
Page 5. Go ahead.
I already know. I'm getting 30 M's.
Okay. What's that say? I already know I'm getting 30 M's.
Terell Ephron.
And would you understand 30 M's to me?
$30 million.
And you alter that voice?
No.
Just a couple more. This is Jeremy, we're done.
Same recording, same transcript, page 5. Continue to page 6.
Same recording, same transcript, page 5, continue on to page 6.
He's gonna have to deal with that and his political ties and everything else. Because once I walk away, when I get my cash, the case is way weaker. It's just like a domestic violence case. If you was to hit your bitch and your bitch was to keep on going through with the situation, you go down. But if you're not there, then you're going against the state and it's way weaker.
Okay. Whose voice was that, sir? And what did you understand what he was saying to you there?
The action is going to call for speculation. It's also irrelevant what he understood. His thought is not relevant.
Sustained.
Okay. That's fine. There's one last one. I'm going to ask you about the question they asked Mr. Ephron. Now, that's you. So, same
Recording, same transcript.
recording, same transcript.
Page 6, continuing to page 7.
Page 6, continuing to page 7. Let's play.
If I'm not there, if he pays me out via my lawsuit, I'll walk away. Basically, it's going to be complicated because I'm on another island. Just relax. You get what I'm saying? They're going to be scrambling to find me because now they have to go against Rocky, the state. And here they have evidence in this and the third, but it's not going to be the same when you present it to a jury and you don't have a complaining witness.
Mr. Sajimi, whose voice was it on that recording that said it's going to be hard for the DA to find me because I'll be going to another island just relaxing?
Terell Ephron, really.
And whose voice was it to say they have evidence, this, that, and the third, but it's not going to be the same when you present it to the jury and you don't have a complaining witness?
Terell Ephron, really.
Did you alter that recording?
No.
Did you superimpose his voice into there?
No.
Did you hear him say that that was fake?
Yes.
Was that fake?
No.
Okay, I have no further questions for this witness. Thank you.
You okay? All right. Mr. Ruin?
Mr. Sajimi, would you agree that you are much closer to the defendant than you are to Relli, correct?
Fair to say.
And you do business with the defendant, right?
Sometimes.
How much money has the defendant paid you for your work in the past 3 years?
3 years? I don't recall.
Well, let's give an estimate.
I would say maybe 20,000 per year, so say 60,000.
And I would assume, is he one of the bigger names that you work with?
No.
He's not?
I work with a lot of people, a lot of brands, a lot of celebrities and names. Yeah.
What was your income last year?
I have to look at it or ask my accountants, but income last year, let's say, around 85,000 possibly.
So if your income was 85,000, then even by your own estimate, he would have, his business would be about 25% of your income, correct?
No, like I said, we get paid by a lot of different people.
No, so that's what I'm telling you. You've said you're estimating your income at 20 grand a year. I'm sorry, your income at 85,000 a year. You're saying he's giving you about 20 grand a year over the past 3 years. 20 grand is a little less than 25%.
Well, you asked me for my personal income, right? I didn't tell you what the business made,
Well,
right?
I asked you what, well, wait a minute, you said it's your business, correct?
Correct.
So would you agree that the defendant represents, he's a substantial bit of income for you?
For me personally or my business?
For you personally?
No.
Well, if your personal income is $85,000 and he's giving you $20,000, you just don't consider $20,000 to be significant. Is that correct?
He's not paying me personally. He's paying my business.
So in the end, if he's paying, who owns your business?
I do.
So in the end, does the money go back to you?
Not all of it. I have employees.
So you say that he is a friend of yours, correct?
Correct.
How close of a friend?
Speak time to time, not often. Sometimes I don't hear from him.
How often do you talk to him?
Once every other month, possibly.
Once or so you're aware. I just want to back up. Fair to say that the defendant is a pretty big person within the rap world entertainment industry.
You can say that.
Well, I'm not asking. If I'd say, would you agree to it?
Sure.
And would you agree that his girlfriend, significant other, she's even bigger than he is, right?
Sure.
For someone like you, would you agree that being in a good relationship with people like A$AP Rocky and Rihanna, that is a positive for your career? Is that right?
Well, I only do business with him. I don't do business with his significant
That
other.
wasn't my question. Those were striking answers.
Sustain.
Listen to my question.
Sure.
My question is, would you agree that people like A$AP Rocky and Rihanna, given the business you're in, that getting in good with them is positive for your future business?
Sure.
And in fact, that's why as soon as, according to your testimony, as soon as you finished that call with A$AP Relli, you called the defendant, right?
Correct.
And in fact, it's fair to say, you did this call because you wanted to set up Relli to see what you could figure out, what might end up helping A$AP Rocky with this case, correct?
No.
So when you set this up, you said you wanted to video, you wanted to audio record. That sounds like you had some planning involved, correct?
I didn't set anything up. I was there to mediate the situation.
So you just decided that you were going to call him up, chat him up, and then immediately after that call, even though you only talked to him like every other month, you're like, hey, I think I'll call A$AP Rocky up.
Well, he was calling me numerous times first.
Who was calling you? A$AP Rocky?
Really?
That's not what I asked you. Motion to strike. Yeah, you know what? I'll wait
Just a
a
minute,
minute.
he misunderstood.
All right. Listen to my question.
Ask the question again.
What I'm asking you is, you're telling me you rarely talk to A$AP Rocky. You talk to him maybe every other month, right?
Correct.
But as soon as you spoke to Relli, the first thing you do is call him up and let him know, hey, here's what I got, right?
Correct. It's a situation between them two.
And you were looking to parlay your calling Relli to see if you can help A$AP Rocky and ingratiate yourself with him, correct?
No.
Well, let me ask you something. As you sit here today, would you agree that if A$AP Rocky is convicted, that very likely that's probably not going to be a positive for you and your income with respect to him?
No, I'll be fine.
That's not what I asked you. Listen to my question. If A$AP Rocky is convicted, you would agree that you might not be getting that 20 grand a year that you estimate you're making from him going forward, correct?
Hold.
Objecting.
Grounds?
Thank you, sir. The first question was, it wouldn't be positive for you. He answered that.
That's not a legal objection.
Just state the legal.
It's a different question. The first question was a different question.
It's not a legal objection.
Just hold on.
Courtroom. It's a courtroom.
Read the last question.
Your Honor, we don't have a legal objection.
Did you withdraw it?
No, I didn't withdraw it. It's misleading the witness. The first question that he answered was a different question.
That's not an objection, Your Honor. It's not a
I
legal
just did.
objection.
Objection misleading. There it
That's
is.
not a legal
Both
California
of you
objection.
stop. Both of you be quiet. Make the question. And the answer.
Question, let me ask you something. As you sit here today, would you agree that if A$AP Rocky is convicted, that very likely that's probably not going to be a positive for you and your income with respect to him? Answer, no, I'll be fine. Question, that's not what I asked. Listen to my question. If A$AP Rocky is convicted, you would agree that you might not be getting the 20 grand a year that you estimate you're making from him going forward. That's when there was an objection.
It's a fair question.
You understand that question?
Objection's overruled.
Can you ask it again?
Sure. You testified that you're making approximately 20 grand a year. You said your income's $85,000 a year. I'm just asking, you would agree that if he gets convicted, you would agree that probably does not portend well for you with respect to continuing to get 20 grand a year from him, correct?
Sure.
Sure, is that a yes?
Yes.
So-
Technically, yes. Yes.
You would agree that no matter what actually happened in this incident, your motivation, your goal as you sit here is you don't want your friend to get convicted, correct?
No, my goal is to tell the truth.
That's not what I asked you. Do you agree that as you sit here right now, that whether or not the defendant committed this crime or not, you don't want him to be convicted?
Technically, no, I don't want anyone to go to jail, so no.
So what you're saying is that even if it is proven that the defendant assaulted the victim in this case with a firearm, you agree that you do not want him to be convicted, correct?
Objection.
Grounds.
It's a fair question.
Your Honor, again, he doesn't, he just says objection and then he gives no grounds.
All right, well,
Judge,
in
when you ask me
any
something-
grounds, it's overruled, so,
Okay.
so the question can be asked.
Ask again?
Please read the question back.
Question, so what you're saying is that even if it is proven that the defendant assaulted the victim in this case with a firearm, you agree that you do not want him to be convicted, correct?
No.
So a moment ago, you just said you don't want anybody to get convicted and go to jail. Now I've just asked you whether you want the defendant to be convicted, even if he committed a crime, and you said, no, I don't agree that I don't want him convicted. Which is it?
If he committed a crime, sure. Justice, right, needs to be served, so.
So as you sit here today, your position is you're just an unbiased person coming in here to do your civic duty.
Correct, I was friends with both of them, so.
Well, you weren't really good friends with Relli, correct? You're much closer to the defendant.
I was friends with him.
Well, you were much closer to the defendant, correct?
Correct.
You said you flew out here, is that right?
Correct.
I assume, was that first class or business?
It was business?
Nice lie flat seats, I assume?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't there. So does sure mean that's what happened? What does sure mean?
Sure means yes.
Okay, if you can answer yes or no, and just make it easier with my question.
No problem.
Okay. So you flew out yesterday on a lie flat seat at the expense of the defendant and his lawyer, is that correct?
Correct.
And you came here not because you have any financial motivation, but because you simply want the truth to come out. Is that right?
Correct. Because someone said the audio recordings weren't real.
So let me ask you something. What you just heard, those were snippets of approximately 30 minutes of conversation. Is that correct?
Correct.
And during those 30 minutes of conversation, at any point in time, did Wally ever tell you that the shooting did not happen?
No.
Did he ever tell you at any point in time, you know what? Yeah, I'm trying to get his money, but I made the whole thing up.
No.
In fact, isn't it true that what he was telling you was that that man shot at him and really wanted to make sure that he got his for what happened? Is that correct?
That's what Relli said.
And you weren't there, is that correct?
No.
Correct?
Wait, hold
Yeah.
on.
That was a double negative. You weren't there, were you?
No, I was not.
And you don't have any idea whether or not this incident happened or didn't happen.
No.
So here's my, did you ever ask Relli? Hey, I'm sorry, did you ever ask the defendant, hey, listen, this guy's saying you shot at him. You ever ask him what happened?
Objection relevance.
You ever ask him what happened?
I don't recall.
So you are having conversations with Relli, which you're taping, and then immediately calling the defendant to report what happened. And you're telling me you've never asked the man, hey, did you cap 2 rounds at him?
I said I don't recall.
Well, is that something you think you remember?
For years ago, I don't recall.
So you're telling me, I just want to make sure I understand this. Your testimony is, yeah, I'm recording him and I'm well aware of this situation that happened. And I've talked to the defendant about it. I talk to him every couple of months. But I've never asked him, hey, Relli's accusing you of shooting him. Did you do it? You never asked him that.
I don't recall, no.
Well, isn't it true? You didn't ask him that because you don't want to know the answer.
Objection, Your Honor. The state's testimony, say doesn't recall.
It's cross-examination.
Yeah, it's a fair question, the question's
Isn't it true that you didn't ask him that question because you don't want to know the answer?
Like I said, I don't recall, but I might have asked him. Sure.
So now you're saying you might have asked him if he shot Relli, but you don't remember the answer?
I said I don't recall me asking him that question, right?
So let me be clear. I want to know, has the defendant ever discussed with you anything about the shooting?
No.
So then your answer would be, if you ever asked him about it, would be a definite no, correct?
Sure, correct, so.
Then why is it a moment ago you just said, I don't know, I don't remember?
Because I don't recall.
So, do you understand the difference between no and I don't recall?
Yes.
So, no, would you agree, would mean he absolutely never mentioned anything, and I don't recall would be, I'm not sure. Would you agree with those definitions?
We can agree to that.
And my question is, don't you think that as you're taping Relli for somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, getting information about this incident and about what he intends to do, and then calling the defendant back immediately to report what happened, that you might have had a conversation with him about, hey, dude, what actually happened? Did you shoot the guy? You're saying that didn't happen, you never asked?
Never asked.
Are you curious?
No.
So you don't have any interest at all as to whether or not the defendant actually shot at Relli?
Doesn't make a relevancy objection again.
Sorry, and go on to another subject.
So, would you agree, your position is that you are talking to Relli and he is telling you about what he intends to do in terms of getting money from the defendant. Would you agree?
Yes.
Did you ever say to Relli during any of these calls that you recorded, hey Relli, how come you're getting money from him if the shooting never happened?
Never asked that.
Don't you think that would be a legitimate question to ask him?
No, I was just hearing his side of the story.
Well, and in fact, you would agree that there is nothing that Terell has ever said to you, nothing, that in any way indicates that the shooting did not happen. You agree?
I agree.
Would you also agree that whatever efforts Relli makes after the shooting, however much money he asks for, whatever calls he makes, does that change what happened during the incident?
Objection. Improper question.
What's that?
Sorry, man.
Well, let me ask you something. I'm asking you. You're taping him and you're reporting that conversation to the defendant. I'm asking you, is there anything about Relli's statements about suing the defendant, trying to get $30 million, is there anything about those statements that you are aware of that changes what actually happened the night of the incident?
No, I think I answered that.
So would you agree that whether or not Relli sues for $1, 20 million, 100 million, 20 gajillion dollars, that in the end, either the shooting happened or it didn't? Would you agree?
Yes.
And it's your further testimony that despite all that, you've never had one conversation or asked him one question, the defendant, about what actually transpired?
Objection asked and answered.
How many calls in total did you record?
2.
2 calls? Now, you said that you were upset because the idea that Relli was coming into court, you said you were offended by his line. Is that correct?
Yes.
When you were taping his calls, did he know you were taping?
No.
Do you think that friends tape other friends' phone calls?
Sometimes they can.
I'm asking you. I'm not asking you physically. I assume, sir, that if somebody wants to record a call, I didn't ask you whether it's technically possible. I'm asking you, do you think that a friend records their friend's phone calls when that person doesn't know it?
Objection, he gave an answer.
That's not a legal objection. It's not
Yes,
located.
It's an
Yes,
objectionable
and
question. It's speculation, and what friends do is irrelevant. Ask another question.
You called Terell a friend of yours, correct?
Yes.
Do you think that it was being a friend of his to tape his phone calls without his knowledge?
Yes.
How was that being a friend to Terell?
Sometimes friends do things like that.
You mean sometimes friends betray friends by taping their calls and then calling other people to report what they found? Is that what you mean?
That's what we call betrayal.
It's argumentative.
So, when is the last time that you had spoken to the defendant prior to immediately calling him after the May 2022 phone call?
I didn't talk to him.
What's that?
I said I didn't talk to him prior to really calling me.
No, so, well, you talked to him before, so I'm asking the last time. When did the last time been?
I'm not sure.
When is the first time? So, when did you first find out about the whole incident, the shooting? When did you find out?
From
about it?
Relli in 2022.
No, I'm not asking when you found out from Relli. When did you first hear about the shooting?
When Relli told me.
So you're saying you had never heard about this shooting that happened to your friend, APRocky, until May of 2022?
Correct.
So you're saying you speak to him every other month. You're aware that that shooting, that incident happened in November 2021, right?
Yes.
And you were saying that even though your friend was involved in a shooting, lead shooting, APRocky, you didn't hear about it for 5 months?
I heard about it from Relli first.
And you said the first time you heard about it from Relli was in May of 2022. That's what you just testified to, correct?
Yes.
So, when's the first time you talked to Relli after November of 2021?
I'm not sure.
Well, give me an estimate of when the last time you spoke to him was.
I said I'm not sure.
Well, here's my question. You would agree that the shooting involving APRocky, that was a big media event. Would you agree?
Yes.
Didn't you say, wait, what do you do for a living? Well, let me just get this right. You basically work on people's boosting their media profile, correct?
It's not what I do for a living.
What do you do for a living?
I'm not sure if you heard, but I run a technology agency and we build websites, software for brands, creatives, artists, musicians.
Right, and you testified, quote,
And part of that, if you want me to get into it, sometimes people offer things like Relli did to help with their social media.
you are very involved in the rap and entertainment world, correct?
No, I'm not. I'm not a rapper. I don't make music. I don't produce beats.
That's not what I asked you.
You asked if I'm involved in rap.
Are you involved in working with individuals in the music, rap, and entertainment world?
No. Might be 10%, 20% of my client list.
So it's 10% or 20% of your client list, but APRocky is approximately 20 to 25% of your income. Just want to clarify, is that correct?
You said is my client list rappers or in the music industry? Repeat the question.
So here's what I'm asking you. You're telling me you've never heard of this incident until May of 2022.
Until Relli told me.
You're telling me that Relli is contacting you saying he wants you to boost his media profile, and he's naming outlets like Rolling Stone magazine, correct?
Yes.
So wouldn't it be your job to be monitoring what's going on in the media with individuals that you're talking to?
No, it's not my job.
So let me ask you something. Your sworn testimony is, Relli told me about it for the first time in May 2022. That's the first I heard of this shooting, correct?
Yes.
Let me ask you, given what you do for a living, does that sound reasonable to you?
Yes.
The council are present, Mr. Sajimi is on the stand. Mr. Lewin, go ahead.
So, Your Honor, we're going to mark our next exhibit, People's 28. It's a DVD that has 3 audio recordings on it.
Are these the phone call?
Yes.
All right, the DVD is 28.
Okay, and then the first call that we're going to play is the May 12, 2022 call with the court redactions. And so the transcript of that will be 29.
Your Honor, can the jury be instructed that they are not to try and speculate what was redacted, what wasn't redacted? They're only supposed
Yeah, I had told you earlier that there are things in the transcripts that have been taken out. The things that have been taken out have no bearing on any decision you have to make. So that's why I didn't take it. What is being provided to you is what will assist you in your decision in this case.
Well, he counts now. I'll ask a couple of questions first. Mr. Sajimi, have you actually heard the full recordings of what you turned over?
Yes.
When's the last time you heard them?
This morning.
This morning. So you heard them in their entirety, is that correct?
Correct.
Would you agree that what the defense played was a tiny snippet overall of those recordings?
Yes, the recording was 30 minutes. Played, 3 minutes? So, yes.
And I just want to be clear. Even on the part of it, whatever part was edited that the jury isn't going to hear, at no point in time did Relli ever say to you, or imply, or infer that the shooting did not happen. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Would you agree that in every interaction you had with him, however many there are, since the incident occurred, that he has always been very clear in his position that the defendant shot at him and that he was hit?
Yes.
All right, we're going to play these. To make it easy, you would agree that when the defense played you the calls, they started with them out of order. The first snippet they played was from August, and actually your first call was in May. Is that correct?
May, June, July, August is the correct order. Dates correct. Yeah.
Well, when you say May, June, July, August, I thought we only have 2 dates.
I'm giving you the sequence of dates, right?
Well, okay,
A
no, I'm
month, right? So,
You know, so let me just inquire. I'm a little confused what you just said. So my understanding is there are only 2 calls, one in May
correct.
and one in August. Is that right?
Yes.
But you just said May, June, July, and
Let
August.
me correct myself. I'm giving you, you asked me, was May before August? I said yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
right? So
understood.
May, June, July, August is
Got
the
it.
sequence of dates.
Oh,
yeah.
understood.
Got
So I'm just making clear, we're now going to play this. What we're going to play, you would agree, this is chronologically, meaning this is the first of the recorded calls. Is that right?
Yeah.
And before we start, it's your position that Relli called you and you called him back all ready to record. Is that right?
Yes.
Prior, when he had called you, at that point in time, you didn't know what he was gonna say, correct?
No, it was just a lot of calls.
Right, but so what I'm saying is, at the time he calls you, in May, you don't know about the shooting.
No.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, so the first time you find about the shooting is during the May 2022 call, and because you don't know what he's gonna be talking to you about, you have no idea why there was gonna be any value in recording him, is that right?
No, but there was a numerous amount of missed calls, kept calling me, so.
Here's what I don't understand. Why, if you don't know anything about the incident, anything about the allegations, why are you taping a call with your friend?
Just to protect myself, and just to have, just oversight.
Why would you need to protect yourself from a friend when you know nothing about any incident that he was involved in?
Seemed weird.
So you're saying you got repeated calls from somebody, your friend, Relli. You didn't know what it was about, and so your response to getting repeated calls from him was to go, you know what, I'm gonna call him back, and I think I'm gonna tape him and not tell him, is that correct?
Correct.
And you're saying that was done because you felt you needed to protect yourself, is that right?
Correct.
What were you protecting yourself from?
Just whatever was said. I mean,
So, do you typically, when you get missed calls, do you call people back and you record them?
they're being weird, yes.
What is weird about a missed call?
10 missed calls in 2 minutes, weird.
So, when you say if someone's being weird, you didn't talk to them, correct?
No, but there might have been text too, but I don't remember.
Mr. Lewin? It's time to move on.
All right, let's play. I want you to listen to this. I'm going to ask you questions about it. when it's done.
Your Honor, when we get to the last page, it didn't print out, so I will pull it up on my computer.
Oh, all right. So there's a page 16?
There it is.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have.
No one has it. That's why I said I'll pull it up on my computer.
Right.
Should be on the screen.
All right, I'm gonna start the recording. And the file name is IMG_0786 redacted.
This is the May 12, 2022 call.
Yes.
Yo, bro. You? Shit, bro, my bad. I'm in my girl shit in bed, so. Oh, yeah. What you doing? Hey, shit. That crib. What happened, bro? You know, I'm not trying to pick sides. I'm mad at both y'all niggas for letting that shit happen for me.
Stop.
You know.
Did you hear what was just said?
Yes.
You just said, quote, I'm not trying to pick sides and shit. I thought you don't know anything that's happening.
Like I said, there might have been text prior.
No, what you testified to, sir, was that the first time you ever heard anything about that incident was when Terell called you. And I'm reading this, and it says, quote, you know, I'm not trying to pick sides and shit. So I want you to explain to me, if you didn't know about it before this call, what in the heck is that comment about?
Objection, Judge. Argumentative.
Sustain this, please.
Please explain what you meant by, you know, I'm not trying to pick sides and shit if you did not have any prior knowledge of the incident.
Just trying to mediate the situation, that's what I meant.
How can you mediate a situation that you know nothing about and you've never heard of?
Like I told you, I might have received the text from him, so yeah.
Do you recall me asking you, prior to the break, 3 different times, and again after the break, whether you had heard anything about the incident until you talked to Terell on May 12, 2022, and you responded each time, no, this was the first time I heard of it. Do you recall responding to that? Sorry, Ron. It's loud because this court knows I can't hear, so my apologies.
Yes, but I thought you were specifically talking to the phone call, so, yeah.
Wait, can you repeat that, please?
You can repeat your question, I'll answer it.
So what I'm asking you is, I asked you 4 different times before the break, and 1 time after the break. I confirmed the first time you had ever heard anything about this shooting incident that happened in November was during the May call, this call, with Relli. And yet the first thing you say is, you know, I'm not trying to pick sides and shit. And then you say, in testimony today, I was trying to mediate. So my question is, how can you be talking about not picking sides and about mediating when you never heard of what happened?
I think I answered this where I think I received text as well. So, yeah, and what I mean by picking sides is trying to mediate the situation.
So when you say you received texts, so are you now changing your testimony and saying, yes, I knew about this incident beforehand?
Objection, argument.
Repeat the question?
Are you now saying, yes, I was aware of the incident from November of 2021 prior to this phone call?
I'm not sure. 3 years ago.
Well, I want you to take a look. Look at the transcript. I want you to look at page 2, and I want you to read again to yourself, and I want you to read starting at line 8 to line 11, and tell me if now you understand whether or not.
Yeah, I think I get your question, and my answer again is, I believe, I'm not sure if I think I received text messages about the situation, so, yeah.
So you're saying you decided to you recorded these calls. Did you save those text messages?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure? Do you have those text messages today?
Probably not, and your definition of I'm not sure is,
Mr. Lewin, are you going to play with the rest of the?
I don't know.
I am, but I'm taking them one at a time, and then I'll start playing again.
All right, let's,
I think it's easier to hit each point as it comes up.
you hit this one a lot.
Well, Your Honor, I'm trying to get, he just now said that there are text messages he believes. What do you believe was said in the text messages?
I don't remember.
Well, so obviously, if you knew about it, that would have meant that Relli would have had to have told you what happened in these texts, correct?
Possibly.
Well, when you say possibly, will you at least concede that you knew about the incident, given what you said, prior to you recording the conversation?
Can't confirm that, but not sure.
And let me ask you again, since your memory's a little hazy, is it, as you sit here, maybe you think you might have talked to the defendant about it sometime between November and May?
No.
So what would be your rush, sir, right after you talked to Relli, to call the defendant if that was the first time you ever heard anything about the alleged shooting, the lawsuit? What made you immediately pick up the phone and call Rocky?
I think I answered this. Trying to mediate the situation, so sent it over to him.
All right, we can continue playing.
Picking sides, that nigga 100% crazy and wrong. 100% wrong. And he got 12-year ills mixed up, bro. You gotta understand, Rocky been on his high horse for a very long time, you feel me?
Would you agree, sir, that during this little section, that Relli is basically telling you, he is saying that the defendant was 100% wrong, and then he got 12 in ills mixed up in it?
Ron, I'm going to object.
Stand.
Do you agree that in that section, sir, as you listen to it, as you read it right now, that Relli is telling you that Rocky has basically done it wrong?
Ron, I'm objecting again.
The words speak for themselves.
Exactly.
Go on, keep going. Push the play button.
Your Honor, I'm gonna.
No, push the play button. Let's continue.
Your
the
Honor,
course.
I'll do that, but again, I keep asking, he doesn't give grounds. We're lawyers. Lawyers give grounds. That's how law works in California.
I know how it works in California.
Well, Your Honor, I'm
Stop telling me how it works in California, how it doesn't work. No speaking objections. State a grounds, state objection and the legal grounds. Push the play button.
Doesn't do what he did. I don't have, he forced my hand, you feel me? I got over 20 missed calls between him. It was, why is Rocky going out his way to do anything like that? You get what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you're going to hear the story or whatever it is, but you got to look at it like this. Why is he going out his way to call me 20 times? Got ills and 12 with him, text messages saying, link up, where you at? And all of this is because of, I pressed him about Josh, him not doing right by Josh, and he spoke to Josh's mom and lied. You get what I'm saying? So I wrote him about.
Were you aware prior to Relli relating this information to you that there had been a pre-existing issue between Relli and Rocky regarding Josh?
No, I don't know based on Josh.
Did you know what he was referring to?
Not really, I don't know Josh. I didn't know Josh.
But you agree that ASAP Relli told you that he, in essence, pressed Rocky about Josh and about him not doing right by Josh and accusing Rocky of lying. That's what he told you, correct?
Yeah, he's telling us side of the story.
All right, please continue.
He hit to Bari later about that, but I'm with Bari. Bari got the phone on speaker. You get what I'm saying? This shit didn't fit well with me. So Rocky talks about me within that conversation because he sees I text him about Josh. You feel me? And told him I'm taking ASAP out my name. This is 7 months ago. I took ASAP out my name. You feel me? Yeah. He's a bitch. So he goes in and says, hey, Bari, because Bari influenced him a whole week later doing that complex kind of shit. You feel what I'm saying? Just so happened I'm with Bari while Rocky hits him. Rocky says my name. You get what I'm saying? Real Money, 12-year ills is at his house. I hit Real Money the next morning. Tell Real.
You would agree that is ASAP Relli telling you that basically he is present for a conversation where ASAP Rocky is talking to Bari and is saying negative things about Relli, correct? That's what that means, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Well, it's not clear, and I'm asking the witness because the witness understands how they speak to each
You've
other.
already indicated that you want a legal ground.
Let me give you.
Mr. Takapita said objection. He's about to state
Oh,
the
I'm
legal
sorry,
ground.
Thanks. It's irrelevant what he believes Relli meant. That's the
Stay.
same objection I got.
Sustain.
No, I'm not asking what
The
he
words
believes.
speak for themselves. In final argument, you can put your interpretation on what was said. Mr. Takapita can do the same thing.
Your Honor, am I allowed to inquire the witness since they're speaking in a manner that is not necessarily easy for anybody to understand? I have to inquire in what does that mean? I'm not asking.
But you're not asking what that means.
What does it mean? What does what you just heard, where Terell tells you that just basically, and I heard you, but in Rocky head, he looked like a bitch because Barry had him on speaker. Rocky didn't know who else heard that conversation, but I heard him talk about it. And I told Rocky over the years, and if you have a problem with me, let me know. Stop rocking me to sleep. You feel me?
I can't tell you what he means. You need to ask Terell.
I think it might be helpful if Mr. Sajimi had.
Oh,
you have it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
All right.
So you're telling me, listening to that, you didn't understand that to mean that there had been a phone call where Rocky had been talking bad about Relli, not knowing Relli could hear it, and that Barry had been involved. That's not what you understood that to mean.
He's telling the side of the story, so sure. Yeah.
No, I didn't ask you whether it was true or not. I asked you, is that what Relli told you?
Yes, I'm on the other side of the phone call.
Okay. All right, keep playing.
Money. I heard Rocky bitch ass tell him I don't fuck with him. Woo-de-woo, de-woo, de-woo. You feel me? No But he know I heard him talk about me, and I told Rocky over the years, nigga, if you have a problem with me, let me know. Stop rocking me to sleep. You feel me? Yeah. I feel it. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, I guess that was enough for him. He felt like a bitch because he knew I heard that conversation. I was supposed to hear that conversation because Rocky never, ever, I never heard him say curse words or even have that type of energy towards me. You know what I'm saying? So now I know the real him. I tell real money, tell that nigga fuck him. You feel me? Boom, boom, boom. Shit is related to him. Next thing you know, I get over 20, 30 missed calls between him, Ills, and Rocky. Text messages. I'm staying at the Lowe's. I tell him, he calls me. I finally answer because I'm sleeping.
Did you take from that, as you heard it, that Relli was now telling you that there was a dispute between he and Rocky that also now was bringing in Ills as well, and that it had resulted in 20 or 30 missed calls between the defendant and Relli?
Judge, I'm objecting again for the same reason I object towards relevant what this witness portrayed. Words of the transcript.
Your Honor, it actually
Stop. Both of you, no speaking objections, don't debate. Do you know what this means?
I can't decipher what somebody, I'm hearing this side of the story, I can't decipher what they actually mean.
Okay, all right, go on.
Then be clear, I'm not asking you whether you believe it or whether it's credible. I'm simply asking you, when you were told this, Relli was telling you that this dispute between he and Rocky had resulted in 20 to 30 missed calls between him, which is Relli, Ills, and Rocky. Is that right?
He's telling me that.
Yes. And he's also telling you he's staying at the Lowe's, and he tells you that he finally answers because he's sleeping. Is that right?
He's telling me that.
Now, you said you've been watching this trial, correct?
Correct.
When did you find out you were going to be a witness in this case?
Just recently.
Well, a couple of days ago, correct?
Correct.
And you continue to watch the trial, is that correct?
Correct.
Didn't the defense tell you, hey, listen, you're going to be a witness in this case? You should not be watching the trial?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustain. Sustain.
For what grounds, Your Honor?
It's irrelevant. Just ask another question.
When you were watching the trial, you were hearing and listening what witnesses were saying about this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
So as you sit here, you know everything that's taken place up to this time in this trial. Is that right?
No, I didn't watch every minute of every hour of the case.
Well, you certainly know overall what has been transpiring in this case, correct?
Not overall.
Do you know what?
If I miss some days, how was that overall?
Do you know what the defense is in this case?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustain.
Are you aware that the defense is claiming that it was a prop gun that was used by ASAP Rocky?
Objection, irrelevant.
What's the grounds?
It's not relevant what Mr. Sajimi is aware of as it relates to the defense.
Have you ever seen Rocky with prop gun?
Objection, relevant.
Overruled.
You ever seen with prop gun?
No.
And would you agree, I'm just going to ask you, but would you agree that in the world that you're involved in the entertainment world, in the rap world, if somebody is a concern about violence or a home invasion robbery, are you aware, in your experience, of anybody ever carrying a prop gun to deter that kind of conduct?
Objection, speculation.
Sustain.
I'm asking if he's aware. No speculation, Ron. Okay.
It's asking him to speculate. So,
I'm not in the entertainment world.
No, you don't have to. Plus, he said he's not in the rap world. So ask another question.
We can continue to play.
I answered it. He's like, where you at? With a slick voice. I'm like, huh? Where you at? Nigga, I'm at the W. I'm not really at the Lowe's. You feel me? You know how you Boulevard. It all look the same. You're like, no, you're not. Nigga, that's a bum-ass hotel. I'm like, huh? He said, show me outside. Okay. All of it look the same. I'll show them outside. When he guts, I'll be in 5 minutes. I'm like, alright. My girl like, what the fuck is going I'm no longer on his level. Everybody turned on me. Everybody, bro. Rocky had everybody turn on me.
What did you mean when you said, why take it to, the guys? What did that mean?
The police, I wanted to have them find a resolution outside of legal or police.
Well, would you agree that if Rocky shot him and hit him, isn't that a police matter?
Sure, yes.
Well, so why then are you saying, you know what, why are you taking it to the guys?
I think I can answer that.
So have you already decided what side you're on?
No, but I think when you're trying to mitigate a situation, the best solution is not all of this.
You used an interesting, you just said mitigate. Before you said mediate.
Mediate, I'm sorry.
Well, let's back up. You were trying to mitigate this situation for your buddy.
I spoke wrong. I was trying to mediate.
Let me ask my question. Who used the word mitigate?
I did, and I was wrong.
Motion to strike everything after I did as non-responsive.
Sustain.
You would agree that in using that term, that could certainly, if you could convince Relli to not cooperate with the police or authorities, that could mitigate the situation for your friend APRocky, correct?
I was trying to mediate the situation.
How exactly were you trying to mediate the situation to help Relli?
Really just hear him out.
Hear him out on a tape call that you could then call your buddy APRocky about, is that right?
Mediating the situation to me was hearing him, his frustration.
Hearing his frustration, your friend, so you could report it to the true person that you had interest in protecting, correct?
I think it was right to show the other person or show both sides when you're talking both sides. So, yeah.
How many of your calls with Rocky you did?
None. We didn't talk on the phone. Never talked on the phone.
Go ahead and continue, play.
Problem? Technical problem?
Yes. I'm just gonna reopen it and get right back to that.
I'll ask some other questions in the meantime, so we don't waste any time.
Everybody turned on me. Everybody, bro. Rocky had everybody turn on me that day. Plus, what the fuck am I doing? Spin on his block and go shoot him up? What do my cripple at? Because he's a multi-million, bro. I'm not having nobody shoot at me where I'm taking it on the chin. And two, I'm not about to spin on Rocky's block. I'm already a millionaire, nigga. You get what I'm saying? So.
At this point, Relli was telling you that Rocky had shot at him, correct? What you just heard.
I don't know what he meant exactly with why wouldn't I, bro? He's a multi-millionaire. Bland at me. No longer on his level.
Where he says, or do I cripple him because he's a multimillionaire, bro? I'm not having nobody shoot at me. You didn't understand that to mean he was saying that Rocky shot at him?
That's what he meant. I can't decipher what he meant, right?
You cannot decipher what he meant by, I'm not having nobody shoot at me. You can't decipher that.
Just sustain. The words speak for themselves. Again, you can comment on them in final argument, or Mr. Zlomek, whoever does the final argument, as can Mr. Tarantino. The words are there. Both of you can put whatever inference you want. Go on to the next question.
Go ahead, Joe.
But you think you're a black nigga? I mean, these niggas ever think how to get money, how to do this? Do Rocky do that? Do you have a foundation for black people? Do you have a foundation for anybody? No, this nigga's greedy. You get what I'm saying? So I can't sit here and be like, oh, how you meet somebody like that, bro? You take away what they have, dogs. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not doing it on some like this, that, and third, on some police shit. Nigga, I'm gonna have that guy a warrior. The same day, because he worked at me 4 or 5 times. I had to use ills as a shield, or I'd be dead. I feel.
Did Relli tell you that he had to use bills as a shield or I'd be dead?
He said that.
Keep playing.
You really trying to, like, you feel me? Not trying to end slash and shit with some paper or something, but what, you know, like. Bro, it's too late. He told me suck I did. Boom, boom, boom. I hit a John the same day. Bro, that's all on him. He had nothing but time. Bro, I went ahead and got the best lawyer in LA and went about my business. You feel me? He told John to stop contacting me. I sent him the pictures of the bullets, sent him the text messages of him, letting him know how serious this is. You know what he said? Nigga, fuck you. I feel, bro. So what am I supposed to do? I accept it.
So, Relli is telling you that the defendant shot at him and then basically told him, F you, I'm not giving you anything. And your response is, he says, you feel me, and you say, yeah. What was the point of your response?
I'm consulting through a mediation, so
So, you're consulting through a mediation. Can you explain what you mean by that, please?
I'm meeting the situation, so I'm hearing him out.
Isn't it true that what you're doing is you are trying to make Relli think that you are on his side, while at the same time you are taping him and then immediately contacting the man he is saying shot at him, who is actually your closer friend. Isn't that correct?
No, I'm mediating the situation, so
Keep playing. So, you also say, this is on, you got it in front of you, you say, you've got to try to squash this shit, get some paper or something, or what? You know, like, you see that? That's on page 8, lines 7 through 9.
yes.
You're telling him, when you mean get some paper, you're telling him you got to get some money from the defendant, correct?
I'm really just giving him options to mediate the situation so there's resolution.
Right, and the option you're giving him is you're basically telling him he can go get money from the defendant. That's what that means, correct?
No.
What does it mean when you're saying to go get paper? What does that mean?
I'm giving him options, right? Not just one option, what you're saying.
So listen to me. I didn't ask you how many options you're giving him. Listen to my question.
You said, what does this mean?
What does it...
Line- Let me finish, right?
Sure.
So what does this mean from line 6 to 9?
No, let me be
That's
real
what you
clear.
asked, right?
No, this is what I asked you.
All
Are
right.
you ready? What does it mean when you said get some paper or something? What does that mean?
It can be money.
What's that?
I said it can be money.
Wait, it can mean money or it did mean money?
It can.
What did it mean when you said it?
I said it can mean money.
Listen to my question. Are you the one that said that?
Yeah.
When you said it, did it mean money?
Yeah.
You were telling him you can get some money from Rocky. That's where you're saying you're trying to mediate, correct?
No.
No?
I'm giving options to mediate the situation.
Sir, one of those options is, you're telling him an option would be get some paper or something, correct?
Correct.
Now let me ask you, up until this time in the conversation, has Relli mentioned that he is going to try to be getting a bunch of money from the defendant?
I'm not sure.
Well, would you agree that it looks like you're the person suggesting that he go get some money with this get some paper, correct?
Given an option within the mediation.
And that's coming from you, correct?
Correct.
And you're aware that's exactly what he did, correct?
I believe so.
Well, you believe so. You're aware. You said you taped him. He went and got a lawyer, and he ended up suing the defendant for money. Is that right?
I believe so.
Okay, move on.
Keep playing.
Niggas shooting at me 4 or 5 times where I almost died, or shooting this man. Now coming with suing, of course, the severity of the case, he tried to kill me. So that's when that's when he got to leave. You feel me? I feel ain't no way niggas could slide, like, you feel me? No taping, no nothing, Rose, like, you feel me? Like, bro, he's a grown, he's 33 years old. He got other men talking for him. He know what he did. You get what I'm saying? He had more than enough time. This shit happened 7 months later. He wasn't trying to reach out to me. He still didn't reach out to me. I feel with the legal shit and pulling out, bro, you know, so that's on him. I didn't want to go about that way.
When he said on the top of page 9, he says, now coming with suing, of course, the severity of the case, he tried to kill me. He was referring to the incident with Rocky, correct? That's how you took it. Is that right?
Objection to what he interpreted, brother, saying this again, not relevant.
Is that correct?
Can you repeat the question?
So he is saying the severity of this case, and he says, now coming with suing, of course, the severity of the case, he tried to kill me. So that's where he's going to. That's why he got a read. You feel me, and you say, yeah, I feel. Ain't no way ends good like you feel me. No paper, no nothing, Rosie. You're saying at that point, he's telling you he tried to kill me, and you're telling him, hey, get some money, correct? As an option.
Trying to mediate the situation, yes.
That's not the question I asked you. Are you telling him to get some money as an option?
Not directly.
So what does it mean? What is indirect about you mentioning get some paper?
I think it's the way we talk. You really wouldn't understand, but there's a way we talk that puts out options, right? So, yeah.
So you're saying you indicated that paper is money, and you admitted that you're telling him to go get some paper, and now you're telling me apparently I can't understand the way you talk. It means something differently.
You're just highlighting the word paper.
No, you said the word get some paper.
You're highlighting the word paper, but if you look around it, there's certain ways we talk that I'm giving off different options to mediate the situation.
So you're basically saying that in order for anybody to understand this conversation, we got to ask you to interpret, correct?
No, not necessarily, no.
Well, if you're saying that we can't understand the plain words you're giving, and you're further saying that you understand it and we don't, then it would seem that the only way we could understand would be to ask you to explain it, correct?
No, if I said the dog was red, you can understand the dog is red. With certain terminology, in the way we talk, you wouldn't understand it.
I just want to be clear.
You've accomplished what you meant to accomplish. Push the play button. All right.
I got a lawyer. When you get a lawyer, that has nothing to do with boys. And Jabari is his friend. He might as well thank him for him not being in a few. Because but those are allegations. You feel me? He got enough, and you're part of the PR team. He would have had enough people to block that if Jabari didn't say nothing, bro. Those are allegations. Jabari made it official. Yeah, so what's the next one? Jabari's getting sued too. Jabari's getting sued for defamation of character. Cause everybody look bad, bro. I'm just trying to. He look bad. He did that, bro. I didn't call you. I didn't have a gun. He left his Hollywood house. Right? Everybody saying everybody look bad. Why? Everybody point the finger because when I take, bro, I got so many people. Niggas hanging. He's in a mansion. Nigga, I pay my way around him every single time.
Did Relli ever tell you during any conversation that he had any gun or any weapon during this incident?
Not sure, no.
Not sure or no, which is it?
Relli himself?
Did Relli ever tell you during any conversation that during this incident in November 2021 with the defendant that he, Relli, had a gun or any kind of weapon?
No, he never mentioned that.
In fact, he said, made very clear he didn't have a gun, correct?
Correct.
Did you ever ask the defendant if he had a gun?
No.
Keep playing.
That's him. He uses niggas. He used 12 year hills, nigga. That was the whole joke about the whole shit with Barbie and the whole thing. You get what I'm saying? The nigga asks if Barbie, is he coming to the complex con, nigga? Barbie laughs at him like, nigga, you're not using me. Nigga, the next conversation was about how he got 12 year and hills on a jet or some whole shit. I feel you. Shit, wicked. That shit wicked. You fucking y'all niggas grew up together, man. Like, you feel me? Like, I made that nigga. Fuck growing up. I made that nigga. Not no 12, not no jams. He didn't know jams. Jams popped up at my crib on purple swag. I made that nigga. That's why you feel like that, bro. I've been power swap, been that. Jabari never did, bro. I put every last goal in my mind. I just know that niggas are kind of end this shit, you know, behind us. You know, he could have.
So when you're saying you just want this shit ended, you want bygones to be bygones, you wanted to mitigate this situation, whether the defendant shot him or not, correct?
I'm saying to mediate the situation.
Did you hear what you were just quoted as saying?
Yes, I can read.
Okay, so my question is, when you're saying, I just want all you ends to kind of end this shit, and you know, bygones be bygones, you are saying you do not care what actually happened, you just want the situation to be over, correct?
No, it's not.
So what did you mean by that?
I think I answered this. When you're mediating, you want to come to a resolution, and yeah.
So I'm gonna ask this question again because you're not answering it. These are your
Sustain.
sir.
Don't editorialize.
Sir, these are your words. So I'm going to read these words, and I'm going to ask you specifically what the words meant. You said, I just want you all ends to kind of end this shit, and you know, bygones be bygones. What did you mean when you said that?
I think I just told you to mediate it and find a resolution between each other.
Okay, move on. Move on.
He's not answering the question. He's not
You just did. Move on.
Go ahead.
He ended it when he shot at me. Who ends anything when a nigga shoot at you 4 or 5 times when you gotta grab another member to protect yourself? He called me out my living space. Called me, told me to stop ducking him. He played that. That's called premeditated, bro. You feel what I'm saying? He didn't give me a chance. He didn't tell me I'm gonna come to a gun battle. I came to link him to see what the fuck the status was about. He pulls out. He tries to chest bump me. He tries to chest bump me and then pull out a gun for self-defense. He's a pussy boy. Your man Ills is standing in between while he's trying to shoot me. He didn't give me no seconds for the shit happening like that. And I got it all on camera. You don't want that, like, trust me. You stupid. He did it all on camera, Cam. So the world looking at me because of Barbie's mouth right now, but in a few seconds, if I wanted to do an HBO or do anything, his whole career is fucked. Everybody's looking at me like the man.
So that's what you, what's your, I guess it was the end game, bro, like, you feel
The end game, I'm suing this shit out of here. That was my game, and regardless, I don't give a fuck about no police, nigga. I'm going against a multi-millionaire that's trying to kill me.
So, it's really good.
You were played a small clip of this by the defense that only had the I'm suing the shit out of him. That was my game regardless. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Would you agree that that clip alone, just by itself, doesn't put the rest of the conversation in context?
Objection to that.
Still no grounds, Your Honor. Objection to that.
The objection is, that's an improper question, but that was an impeachment question, that's what I asked there.
That's not a legal objection. Your Honor, I keep asking you.
if you want, when the defense is asking questions, if you just want to say objection without a legal ground, I can probably infer what the legal ground is. I want to move the case along.
No, I'm just asking. The court has said they've ordered both sides. We're lawyers.
Right.
I can't respond when he doesn't give a legal ground. When the court makes me an offer that I don't have to state a legal ground, that's not the rule of court. I state a legal ground because I'm a lawyer. When he simply says objection.
So what do you suggest?
He give a legal ground as you told him.
And if he doesn't?
Then the objection's overruled. According to the evidence code and the rules of court. The court knows that. I'm not telling the court anything the court's not aware of. That's all I'm asking, Judge. Just stay ground. And instead we get along.
I heard you.
Okay.
Proceed.
All right.
Besides suing somebody like that, you feel me? Now he got to face the consequences of that because he wanted to be a gangster and run out his crib like that.
I feel
That has nothing to do with me. You feel me? I did my part. If you look at it on my end, what else am I supposed to do?
I mean, like, squash that shit in the streets, type shit if I had money.
Ain't no street nigga. Bro, what the fuck?
I feel
You know what?
What did you mean when you said, I feel, like squash that shit in the streets type shit? What does that mean?
I think that's another cultural thing that you kind of wouldn't understand that we use, where it's really mediating the situation among ourselves.
Your Honor, can you instruct the witness to answer the question? That's not an answer.
Yeah, and refrain from suggesting to Mr. Lewin or anybody else what they would or would not understand. Just answer the question directly. Ask the question.
It's hard to answer someone.
Do your best.
Okay. Sir, I'm asking you, listen to my question, what you meant, what you said. I'm not asking you to respond that you're mediating. That's not answering the question. I'm not actually asking you to tell me that I wouldn't understand it. You said the words. What did you mean?
Meant to find a resolution.
What specifically does it mean? Squash that shit in the street type shit. What does that mean?
Keep mentioning what it means, and I'm telling you, within our culture, it needs to find a resolution. You wouldn't understand.
He's answered the question and move on.
And the resolution that you've already advised him of is get some paper, get some money, and keep the cops
I think I
out.
answered this. I listed different options as well.
What other option did you list, sir, besides get the money? What other option did you list in?
Have a conversation.
Have a conversation. So you're mediating, and your solution is, after the victim has been shot at, your solution is he should either get some money or have a conversation with the defendant. Is that correct? That's your solution?
There's more solutions, but yes.
Well, I'm asking what solution specifically during this call, other than get some money, did you offer Terell to solve the situation? Maybe one.
I think just to talk. Mediate the situation, yeah, just to talk.
You're aware that Relli has told you that they went to talk and the defendant pulled a gun on him and then shot at him a couple of minutes later the last time they talked. You're aware of that, correct?
But over time, people's sensitivity and their feelings kind of change, so you can come to a common ground from talk.
So your advice to Relli was sit down with the defendant, whether he shot you or not, because times change, we need to keep the police out of it, and we need to settle this amongst ourselves. That's pretty much your advice?
Trying to mediate the situation so we can talk.
Okay.
So there's a better resolution than the circus.
Wait, a circus, or you mean a lawsuit where the defendant might suffer adverse consequences? Or a criminal case where he might suffer adverse consequences?
I just mean a resolution.
What do you mean when you just said a circus?
Just really high publicity, public things.
Well, and in fact, you had this conversation in May. That was just a short time after it was publicly revealed. You're aware now, you've been watching the trial, you said, a lot of the trial. You're aware that originally when this case happened in November, that Relli was not identified. But in April of 2022, it went all over the media saying that Relli was the guy involved, calling him a snitch, calling him a rat. You're aware of that now, correct?
Time to move on. Were you aware of that?
I was aware when he told me in that.
When did he tell you that?
He told me about the situation on the phone call.